Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to another episode of Spiritual Sundays, a series where I'm talking about all of the deeper issues in life, from subjects related to mental health, human psychology, spirituality and so much more. Now today's video was not the one I had actually planned, and to be honest I didn't think I would be able to film at all. I'll explain in a minute. So it is going to be more of a kind of freestyle talking video, which I do find quite difficult, but I'm just going to do what I can and give it my best go. So hopefully what I say makes sense. The past couple of weeks have been fairly hectic, although it's not like I've taken on a ridiculous amount of work or anything. I've just been doing a lot and like working most days, on like Sundays and evenings, like putting decorations and stuff up in my shop. So I think I've been quite tired out. Yesterday I took a day out from the kitchen. I went to the BBC Good Food show with my mum. If you don't know what it is, basically it's kind of like a food and drink exhibition in the UK, which is run by this magazine, BBC Good Food. Me and my mum, we've been a few times in the past and we hadn't been for a few years, so I just thought, why not, you know, it's a day out, we get a day out from the kitchen, which is quite good. I think I built myself up a little bit for this event. I know it sounds ridiculous, it's literally one day out. In fact, it wasn't even a full day, it was more like an afternoon. But I was just so excited about taking a day off. I was like, it's gonna be so nice and chilled, and I'll spend some time with my mum, we'll just taste some nice food. And this is the kind of thing that I would do a lot when I was younger, if we were like going somewhere or doing something exciting, or if there was like a party. I would really build myself up to the point where I would sometimes make myself feel ill. And well, yeah, you can guess what kind of happened. So we had a really nice day, and then near the end, near the afternoon, probably about an hour or so before we were planning on leaving, I just started to feel really funny. I was kind of feeling off all day, and I noticed it kind of came on the night before, but I was getting quite flushed and hot, but yeah, I was cold and shivery in like my big coat. I had like a sore throat, a bit of a headache, and I said, Mum, I'm just not right. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm not feeling good. So in the car back, I just started to feel worse and worse, and then last night I just felt awful. Basically like kind of flu type symptoms, sore throat, headache, temperature, but cold and shivery. I had a stomach ache as well, just not feeling my best. And I think although it was a physical thing, definitely there is always a mental connection, like, because the body and mind are connected. They are so connected that you can't really change something in the body without changing the mind, and vice versa. The body affects the mind and the mind affects the body. I think most of us know this. But it's one of those things where like you've been working a lot and it kind of builds up. Although I wouldn't say that I get that stressed easily, I'm very good at managing that, very good at sort of, I would say, controlling my emotions. Maybe controlling is not the right word. Managing my emotions. And generally I'm pretty happy, I'm pretty calm. However, sometimes these things build up and it's like an underlying cause that you don't always notice, and it's only when you stop that things build up and everything comes out, and my body is just like, nope, can't take it anymore, and hence I got ill. Going back to the body-mind connection, on the way home in the car we were stuck in a bit of traffic, and I ended up having a really nice chat with my mum. Actually, it did get quite deep and emotional. We were talking about relationships and stuff and life, and I was thinking about my own life, and I said to my mum, I'm at that point now where I've become almost, not totally, but very self-sufficient. I'm very independent. I'm used to doing things on my own. I run my own business on my own. I live on my own. I almost feel like I don't need anyone, or at least I tell myself that. But is that really true? I think there is a part of me that's maybe living in denial. So when I got home, I think because I was just not feeling very good at all, I ended up getting quite upset. I was thinking a lot, and it was just one of those moments where I needed somebody, and I don't like to admit to that. I don't like to admit that I need another person. As I say, I've learnt to deal with everything on my own, and I very rarely reach out to anybody else or talk to anyone. But I wanted to make this video almost as a reminder that I did have that moment, and in that moment I did need somebody. And I think that's something that I've just sort of pushed to the back of my mind and denied for such a long time. And I guess what it told me was that maybe I do need to reach out a little bit more. Maybe I do need to be a little bit more vulnerable. And I've talked about this stuff in the past in previous videos. I've talked about loneliness and things, which I know a lot of people struggle with, actually. Even people who do have lots of friends and things, you know, it's a very common thing now. There is, in fact, a loneliness epidemic on the planet right now. We've become so disconnected from each other, and some people would say, oh, it's because of social media. I don't think social media is to blame or even the cause of it. I think that social media has maybe just heightened the problem, or even shone awareness on this loneliness epidemic, which is actually a good thing. But more than ever, we need to connect to each other. It's the only way that the human race and the planet can survive. And I am somebody who wants to help assist in that. I want to help connect people, and that's partly why I started my business. I know that I make cakes, but it's so much more than that, and my goal is maybe not an obvious one, but I want to help people. I want to make their life better, and I want to show anyone and everyone that they can be happy. And in order to do this, I need to practice what I preach. I need to be a little bit more vulnerable. I need to show my emotions, because if I can't even do it, then how can I expect anybody else to? So yeah, I ended up collapsing on my bed and basically giving myself a big hug. Well, actually, I gave my teddy bear a big hug and crying. I just cried. I don't know where the tears even came from. And that's another thing, actually. I rarely cry anymore. I used to cry, not like all the time, but I have always found that a really good emotional release. But again, it's like I've trained myself not to do that, and this has happened almost without me realizing. And it's okay to cry, and as I say, it releases so much, and I did feel a lot better for it. And I guess in that moment when I was lying on my bed and all this stuff was coming up, mostly in the form of thoughts, I was being vulnerable. I was allowing myself to show my emotions. Yeah, okay, I wasn't with anybody else, but sometimes I even hide them from myself. So it felt like progress, the start of something, showing more of myself, the good and the so-called bad parts, which aren't really bad at all. And this could be one of the reasons why I do struggle in relationships, and I do struggle to make friends. Well, actually, I make friends pretty easily. People seem to like me, but I think part of forming a connection with another person is to be real, be honest, be open, be vulnerable, because that shows them that it's safe for them to do the same. And this is how relationships are built. New beginnings. And I think next year is going to bring a lot of new things, both in my personal life and my business life. In fact, I was thinking a lot about my business and what I want to do next, because I am at a bit of a turning point and I've not been too sure where I want to take it. It's like I sort of know. I know what I want to do. I know that I want to help other people. You know, the cakes, as much as I love doing them, it's always just been a sideline to my greater mission, which a lot of people don't see. I guess I'm just not sure how, but sometimes worrying about the how is not good. Just think about what you want to achieve, think about the end result, and naturally things will fall into place. Opportunities will come to you and will be led down the right path. Cakes and therapy. Who knows? People can come into my shop, I'll give them some tea and cake and they can put £1 in a little box. I'll give them my daily wisdom. Although I'd probably have to charge a lot more than £1, otherwise my business wouldn't keep going for very long. I'd have to literally have hundreds of people in. But yeah, who knows what the future brings, and I guess that's what's exciting about it. Exciting, scary, but I trust that things are always working out. Anyway, I will end this video here before I go on for too long. Thank you so much for watching and for listening to me. I've got a lot of good topics coming up, so please keep following along this series. It really does mean a lot to me, and if there are any things that you want me to cover, if you've got any questions or just stuff you want to chat to me about, please do get in touch either on here or over on Instagram. And of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications button so that you don't miss any of the latest updates from me. I hope you all have the best week and I will see you next time. Bye.